Good day to all. Welcome to my channel, your channel, our channel, where our thoughts and opinions become clear under the sun's view. Let's have an enlightening discussion without the thunder. I do hope all are well, or all are getting well. If not, I send the sun's light to warm and brighten your day. I certainly would understand that these times may bring forth more stress, and it seems there is no room for duress. But please, continue to live and do what you must, as the time still moves from dawn to dusk. First, want to thank you all so very much for your feedback, for those who reached out to me and offered a bit of feedback. I really, really do appreciate it. Right, so today I wanted to just discuss something. As I mentioned, this channel, it's really, and for now, it's really my view, my opinion, and my thoughts that I am presenting to you until further down we're able to facilitate your part in these discussions and topics. I wanted to touch just a little bit on magic and words and what I believe to be their association with magic. I've been trying to transition, trying to work my way around how to specifically start the channel and to just really get across what it is that I want to talk about. So today, as I mentioned, I want to touch a bit on magic words, the magic that I think is entailed within the words that we are speaking, the words that we're saying, the words that we're creating and making our sentences and using to make our sentences. First, I want to start with the beginning. So the very word beginning says, first two letters of the word, B, E, B, come forth, B. And then it has jin, so it's B, gin, B, jin. And B, as I mentioned, says come forth. Gin is something that you drink. It's the spirit. Okay, it's a medicinal liquor, and it was made by the monks and alchemists across Europe. Okay, word alchemist, gin. So that's my association. And then jinn is also short for genie, magic, just the same, right? So I just wanted to add that in there as the first observance. The word begin, B and jinn, come forth, genie. Funny, huh? Yeah, I know. So, moving on from there, the Bible, King James Version of the Bible, John 1 says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. God was the Word was God, God is the Word. God used the Word to create something, to form something. And that was the beginning. That was the start of all things. The word, speaking it, saying it, and it manifested itself as it was said. Now, as I've said before in another post, are we creating what we think and desire through our words? Does that possibility exist? John 1 would make it appear that it does. But let's step a little bit further. Our language, or some portions of it, may have been derived from the Phoenicians. That's where we get our phonics. That's where we get our phone, which is communication. This is how we communicate, right? This is a phone, a method of communication. Phonics, it's understanding the language and the words and those things associated, having the correct pronunciations and terms associated, or phonics, phonetic sound, Phoenician, phone. To extend it further, when we start schooling, okay, when we go to school, the first thing we learn going to school is the alphabet. And if we take the alphabet and we break it into two, break it into three, alpha and bet. But I don't want to break it into three. I want to go to two. I want to have the word alpha and the word bet. What is alpha? Alpha is the first letter of the Greek alphabet. Greek symbol, very first Greek symbolic letter is the A, the alpha, which means first. It also may mean start. It also may mean beginning. So in the beginning was alpha. At the very first of things was alpha, the A, the symbolic letter. And that is what we do when we go to school. That's the first, that's the start, that's the beginning to learn the alphabet. So the word bet, if we search for the meaning of this word, bet, it's a wager, it's a chance, it's a gamble. You make a bet. Now, this is how I put my words together, just to try to understand what is taking place and to see things from various vantage points. So we can get from the word alphabet, alpha meaning first and bet meaning gamble, wager, or chance. We can say, in learning the alphabet, this is our first chance. This is our first bet. This is our first wager. So the first thing that we are learning to do is how to take chances, how to wager, how to make a bet, how to take risk. That's the first magical skill. That's the first skill in the world of magic that we must acquire. So, alphabet, our first chance, first wager. This is the beginning of our gambling career. This is the beginning. This is the start of our magical years. Now, if you master this skill, this new skill, you would or will become the best, the greatest gambler, the greatest in whatever field, whatever area you have learned. You will become successful. You will become a learned person. Who is a learned person? Keep in mind, a mage is a magician. A magician is a learned person. After you've completed your learning process, you graduate. Right? Let me go again. You first start to learn the alphabet, the first method of chance, of wagering, taking a risk, making a bet, alphabet. If you master this skill, you become a learned person. A mage or magician is a learned person. Skilled in the craft of magic. Okay? So the alphabet we start to learn to take or begin our lessons in gambling, risking, wagering. This is our first chance to acquire or master the skill, the magic. Now the alphabet is also a set or a group of letters. Please do understand that the word letter, it is both linguistic and it's also law. So it has a meaning in the linguistic aspect, and in the linguistic aspect, it is a character representing one or more of the sounds used in speech. That is what it is in linguistic form. In law, it is a legal or formal document. It is a legal letter, a legal or formal document. So your letter, and it's the very same letter letters that you put together to create this legal or formal document. It is the very same letters, symbols that make a particular sound that we use in speech to pronounce. A sentence, you have to put letters together to make a word, to create, to make a sentence. So when I ask, are we creating our own sentence? It is the very same thought of writing something down on paper, a sentence. It is also the very same thought of formulating an idea into our reality, formulating a thought into our reality through our words, thus creating a physical aspect of what we truly desire or do not desire. Because for me, the lesson appears to have been rigged. Why it appears to have been rigged? Because I don't believe that we understand that the magic is in the letter. The magic is in the word. The magic is in the pronunciation. The magic is in the craft, the art. And because we don't understand that, we say things and do things and create things that we never initially would have wanted or needed. So we're doing it blindly. We'd have no clue, no knowledge of what we are truly doing. Why is it so confusing? Well, one, confusion, the very word confusion. For those who are English, and I am still learning. Okay, so I have not yet fully learned, as I realize and have come to understand many of the things that I thought I knew and understood. I really knew and understood zero. Understood nothing, knew nothing. Right? So I am still acquiring, trying to acquire, and put the information as they come to me together to sort of create some type of balance and an ultimate understanding. Okay, so I've not reached that 100% mark. Far from it. So far from it. Now the confusion, the very word confusion. You would have been taught that the word con, C-O-N, it's to swindle, cheat, dupe, trick, deceive. So That's how you get a con man. Someone who has swindled you or deceived you in some way or form. Now, do understand as well that the word con, it's in informal law. It's also a part of politics. Okay? Now, when we put the word and it's con, and then we have what was pro. So it's either con or pro. So if you have the con, it's the advantages and disadvantages. Okay? And this is a part of the confusion. The various meanings and definitions that this one thing associates with. How does one truly balance it out? So it's a con. It's a swindling of your fusion. It's a distraction. It's not a pro. It's a con. Right? So not to step too far. As I said back to the beginning. So letter, you can both find letter in linguistic and in law. And it's also, as it says, in printing. Right? So this one word has different understanding in these three areas. So if you're not in law, you won't understand what letter means in law. If you're not in printing, you won't understand what letter means in the printing environment. Right? So you would need to have someone who is learned, who is a mage in that field, in that area, to clarify it for you. And that is why when you get caught doing something illegal and you have to go to court to defend you, you have to get a representative, someone to stand for you, speak for you, say for you. Why? Because they are magicians in a different field. Just as I mentioned, if you are not in law, you're not going to understand what letter means in law. If you're not in printing, you're not going to understand what it means in printing. So it's the same thing if you go to the courts. You have to get someone who understands the words in their field. Because you go there and you may say, what? You may use the word what, and the judge looks at you like you're out of order. You said something that was not supposed to be said in law. But in everyday linguistics, what is a question, right? Like, what? What did you say? But in law, it may mean something different. And that's why you have to get someone to represent you, because they understand the language in their magical field. Okay? So, the Bible speaks about the Word, and the Word being God. The Word is God. And the Word came forth formed and created whatever it is that was to be created, I guess. Mankind and everything on earth was created from this word. Yet magic is so taboo. Magic, sorcery, divination, things spiritual, things. I mean, you even think of children and cartoons, and majority of the cartoons for kids are fairy tales. They're magical. Why? Because there's somebody out there who knows something. There is a learned mage out there who understands and knows these things. Why are children specifically so drawn to magic? So much so that they have crafted it into these programming specifically associated to children. In the beginning, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word was God. Food for thought. I will come back and delve a bit further for you.